Now turn up some more. Cincinnati show, it's time to play. Sports with strawberry ice today. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. CTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's pure delight. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Feel the crowd, it's electric now. Shouting loud, they all know how. The CTV got what we crave. Sports with ice, it's waves and waves. Tigers strike and Bengals roar. Every game we want some more. Tune it in and feel the thrill. Strawberry ice, he's giving chills. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. CTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's pure delight.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm here, Ice Man Jeff Trunapole, and as always, I bring you sports from a point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio. And as always, unless I'm on the remote, I'm coming to you live from the Ice Cave. And the Ice Cave is brought to you by Priority Lawn and Landscaping. If you need that grass cut, you need your flower beds cleaned out, mulched, I don't know, put some stone in there, paper patio, I don't know, retaining wall, whatever, anything lawn and landscaping. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Give them a call, 513-430-6114. That's 513-430-6114. You can also follow them on Facebook. And when you do, message them on Facebook or call them. Do me a favor, tell them Ice sent you. What is up to everybody in the chat? I'm not sure how this happened, but Stranger was third. I'll just put this out. She was third. You're slipping, Stranger. First, we got there. Paul Painter's in there. Tony Blaze is in there. Stranger's in her third. Wing Esther's in there. What's up, Wing? And Bengals Army. What's going on, everybody? All right. So I titled this show Clutch Kicks and Championship Hopes. Shayne Graham and Dale from Bengals and Brews talk Bengals 2025. I kind of went down this path because there's a lot of games last year, and Joe Burrow said it that they didn't finish. I just rewatched the Baltimore game last year where there was 5 penalties on the freaking 2-point conversion. If they called one of them, maybe we win. But it should have never came down to that. We should have had longer sustained drives when we had the lead, ran the clock out, and got more points, or we should have done better on defense. Those are things that we should have done a little better, and that's what we have to do better this year. And hopefully with the guys we drafted, we'll be able to do that. Shayne's not here right now, but one of my best friends is. He's the man. He's the myth. He's the legend. He's Dale Altman. Oh yeah, check him out on Cincy Jungle too. He's kind of big time now. He's got his draft stuff up there. Here's Dale. What's up, big time?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, I'm very proud of you. You are officially a part of Cincy Jungle now, man. That's cool.
Well, I'm just doing a couple articles here and there.
It's gonna be official. Everybody's gonna be like, "Holy crap!"
I appreciate AC, the Godfather.
The Godfather hooked you up. But everybody's gonna be, "Holy crap! This guy knows what he's talking about." I'm like, "I know shit. I've been telling you guys that."
And who day to Brad? Since Jeff didn't give you a who day, Brad, I'll give you a who day. I was trying to type it in, but
Brad, yes, sorry. What's up, Brad? There you go.
Don't want to leave. And
hey, Hilarious Scales. We got a superstar in there. Hilarious Scales is in here. What's up? What's up? What's going on? Wing says hi. All right, I see him getting ready. He's in the waiting room, looking all pretty and sexy. Dude, he's stroked out. Shayne's like bulked. I think he's been working out a little bit more. I don't know.
Don't make us wait. Let's see it.
All right, here we go. Here's former Bengals kicker Shayne Graham. What's up, Shayne?
How's it going?
He Look, he's all stroked out.
Yeah, man, he's looking all sexy.
Gosh,
Been
working out, man. Look at that.
If we need a kicker, I think we got a guy right here. He looks in game shape.
This guy's done. I'm done.
We know a guy.
I tried my hand at it one time this past fall. It didn't work out well for me.
I saw that video. I was not at that game. I saw that video, Shayne. We might as well start there.
Yeah.
Did it stretch enough? What happened? Just
okay. All right. So what had happened was, listen, I'm 47. Okay. And I got it in my head that I could still do this. And, physically, it was something that I could do. Like I've gone out and done that, right? But it's a little different when you've got jeans on, you kick your cowboy boots off, you pull your socks off, you go barefoot. You really don't go through the warm-up process that, everybody listen, I'm making a ton of excuses. I'm not going to lie, okay? And I told my wife this. I felt things I hadn't felt in a long time. I was cool and calm. My wife was about to throw up. She walked out on the field with us with her camera, going to get all this great stuff for some content for social media. I'm cool and like all the way up until like homie pretends to pull his hamstring. All of a sudden, and then I just felt things like my feet went numb. Because, I always had kind of a defense mechanism, and I had routines, and I had kind of like my psychological tools that I would use through certain processes and routines and comfort zones of things that you rely on and what builds your confidence. Well, I hadn't done any of that in 10 years. So, you know what? Shame on me for not actually trying to prepare a little bit better mentally. I can use the excuse, I'm 47, this, that, the other, whatever. I still know that I still could have made that kick. I had made that kick in practice attempts.
Not that particular kick. Not that particular.
Well, the first one actually barely missed, and then they're like, all right, let's give him another chance. And I'm like, oh, I'll never miss the second one. I shanked the crap out of that.
Oh, that's the one I saw.
Yeah, no, that was the second attempt.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but let me just tell you, I will admit, we were in the suite for the first half.
Couple drinks.
We were in the suite for the first half, okay? And there's a nice little hospitality section in there.
We've been there. We know. It's magical. The beer just keeps showing back up.
It just refills itself.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, I don't know.
It was the greatest thing I ever saw. I was sitting next to him going, hey, the beer's back. I don't know where it went, but it came back. I'm like, this is awesome. It just keeps filling itself back up.
My wife was like, do you really need another bourbon pour? And I'm like, yeah, I do. Why not? So I'm not saying I was sloshed or anything, but you know what? I will say this. Even though I missed it, I wasn't afraid of missing. I had fun. I enjoyed it. I went out that night. Fans were great. Like a lot of people recognized me from that, I don't know if they would have recognized me in general, but because I was up on the Jumbotron and whatever, maybe that happened a little bit more that night. Had a great time, had fun, did not lose a wink of sleep over it. It was all meant to be fun. But it was definitely like, it reminded me of probably like my first ever competitive time kicking a football when it kind of mattered. And because when you get over it that first time, it desensitizes you to that feeling. You become more tolerant of that feeling of nerves. And a lot of people who have never truly been in that fire that way never understand what that feels like. The closest thing they could ever probably compare it to would be purely physiological. And that's just when you jump in a cold swimming pool. After about 30 seconds, it gets a little, feels a little warmer. It's called sensory adaptation.
Mhm.
That's really our only defense mechanism to try to like keep ourselves from feeling that high intensity of that, um, you know, pressure and on whatever it is that our body reacts to. As a player, we all kind of go through our ups and downs, and those things build us. There's some fans that could give me a hard time because of a kick I missed against Pittsburgh, or you know whatever game I may have missed a kick or whatever. I made a lot more than I missed,
Yes.
but those misses are what let you know, hey, I'm gonna live. I'm gonna be okay. I don't need to be afraid of this. I can handle this.
Mhm.
And I couldn't tell you a single kicker that's never ever missed a game-winning field goal. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just at some point in their life that's gonna happen. Um, it's just gonna happen. I mean, Adam Vinatieri has missed them, has missed 20 some yard game winners, but he also made a lot of others
Uh-huh.
that were
Right.
really big too. So
Well, that goes perfectly to what else set the show up as is you making game-winning kicks and just game-winning plays down the stretch of these games. And there's a lot of times last year where the Bengals they had the 5-game winning streak, which they started making them then. But before that, there were so many games where we lost by a field goal or a touchdown or whatever. I'll play here or play there, where you don't put it in the referee's hands. You get that first down, you run the ball, you make that tackle, whatever. The mental capacity and how much that weighs on you when you don't make it compared to when you do, and how hard it is to get back to that point. Like, all right, we're going to make this play, and making sure you're in the right spot. The mental toughness you have to have for that.
yeah, and excuse me. When you have to learn how to reset and understand like what is my process. I always talk about this a lot with my clients. You've got to have a process and a routine that you kind of create like this immediate checklist that it's like you spin the wheel and it restarts, right? And you got to start back at zero.
Right.
And if you don't start back at zero and you try to jump ahead all the way to 98, then you've obviously going to miss out on things that bring you comfort and confidence. So and that's why coaches try to make practice very uncomfortable. They try to make you go through so many scenarios. They try to make you fatigue. They try to make you do all these things so that practice is so uncomfortable that the game becomes comfortable. And there's only so many of those things you can kind of go through.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like when a coach tells you like, hey, if we don't get this field goal in this practice period, the whole team's got to run conditioning. Okay, that's probably the closest you can come to really putting pressure on a kicker in practice to make them somewhat uncomfortable. Unless you said go sprint up the field and back, come back, be out of breath, now do it the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you need to feel the heart rate. You need to feel, holy crap, my teammates are going to be pissed if they have to
You're
run.
gonna kick my ass.
Yeah. So that is one of those situations. And I actually do this with my clients sometimes and make them do it on their own. I'm like, hey, put your phone on a tripod, FaceTime your dad, FaceTime your mom, FaceTime your girlfriend, somebody, and tell them that if you miss this kick, you can't drive your car for a week. You can't play video games. You can't go do something you really enjoy, whatever it is. You can't see your girlfriend for the rest of the week. See how she likes that, right? So something that really matters to you that you could have pulled away from you if you don't perform in this moment is the only way to really prepare you and desensitize you to that fear of that failure in the actual moment of competition. So when you have, the coaches try to set up, hey, we've got this many seconds left on the clock. We've got to get across the 25-yard line. We got to get a first down here. We got to score a touchdown. We're down by 2. We're down by 6. We're down by 8. Whatever the scenarios they try to go over, they try to make the guys go through all of it. But how often do they say, "Oh, but there's a flag on the play," and nobody understands why there's a flag. It's a crappy call,
Mhm.
and you have to then shrug that emotion off so you can reset. Because if you get stuck and that gear gets spinning and it's stuck without gripping, all of a sudden you're more worried about that bad call than you are what you got to do on the next play. So there's so many things that it's so hard to prepare for, but psychologically we just have to find a way to reset and let it go. Be a goldfish.
Exactly. Now we got $5 super chat from Dustin Croft. Appreciate it. Drafted high character. Have you ever been on a team that were like damn super talented but no culture? And how did that year end up?
Uh, I don't want to say bad culture. I'm not going to ever point a finger to any team or organization or
Right.
year or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I can tell you there is a difference when you have outspoken, solid, positive leadership versus outspoken, listen to me, attention leadership, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's
That totally makes sense.
there's
Yeah. Guys wanted the attention on themselves, but not actually trying to help the team out, I guess is kind of what you're
to a degree, yeah. Like I can just say
Take
in
all the
New
credit,
England,
none of the blame type of guys, right?
kind of,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah. When I was in New England in 2010, it was an eye opener to see how Tom Brady ran that team and how the team respected him and how the team followed everything that other guys stepped in and created subsets of leadership within, not just the position groups, but within the age groups, within the side of the locker room, within, uh, the guys that always sat in the cold tub and hot tub after practice, the guys that sat in the sauna, like the conversations were always one person leading everybody else to the promised land type thing. Lead by example, not yell at you to do something right. Now, in the moment in the game, yeah, you might have to get on somebody that you see is kind of screwing up. I get that. But it was a whole lot of, hey, let's follow behind him. Let's rally behind him. And those are also when you hear about, the famous generals from way back,
Right.
the ones that are that live in legendary glory are the ones that everyone wanted to rally behind. And it was because they were willing to do things themselves. They were willing to take the first step. They were the first one, off the helicopter and the last one to get on the helicopter on the way home. Like whatever facet, that's how leadership in a winning culture really looks like.
Now, you've been to Bengals practice. Do you see some of those traits with Joe Burrow and the Bengals?
Some of the practices I've been to with the Bengals, during training camp, I think Joe was injured maybe, so I really never got to truly see that. And also I'll admit, like when I'm at practice, I'm catching up with Evan. I'm talking with Darren Simmons when he's got a little bit of free time. But those guys have got their own responsibilities in practice, and I'm not trying to be a distraction to them. But you got people like you bugging me to take a picture and things like that. So
Me? I never bug you. I don't know what you're talking about.
when I say bug, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I do remember taking a picture with you when I was at training camp.
Oh, yeah. I'm using yelling at Shayne, come on my podcast. Come on my podcast.
Yeah, I will. When? What time?
Yeah, exactly. 5:30. It's always the same time. Dan, what do you got, man?
So this is a little different, and I don't know if you know anything about this guy, but the Bengals brought in long snapper William Wagner from Michigan. Do you know anything about this kid? Is he actual competition with Cal, or is it just one of those things? It's always good to have another guy in camp.
It's always good to have. It's always good to have. It's good to develop so that Darren can develop the guy, get some familiarity with him. a just in case type situation. Now, if the guy comes in, the odds are, and I'm not saying anything against this kid. I think he's actually from Richlands, Virginia, if I'm not mistaken, which is right around my hometown. So I know that to learn the protection scheme, that Darren teaches, that kind of apostles off of Scott O'Brien, there's Belichick, there's a few people that kind of hybrids off of. When he has to learn all the things he has to learn, how to protect versus loops, how to protect versus pick and bangs, how to protect versus bull rush, all the different things he's got to learn, his protection and his assignments, and how to support the guards and how to do certain things. That is usually why rookies don't make the team when it comes to long snappers. I've seen a drafted long snapper not make the team because he couldn't protect. And you can be a great snapper, but if the coach doesn't trust you in protection, and I'm not saying that he can't do this, I'm just saying it will be hard for him because he every single day is just going to be like this, whereas Cal's already got it kind of down right now, and he just has to stay sharp.
Well, and even Cal wasn't going to be the guy right away. He was going to be behind Clark, and then an injury happened, and boom, you had him there. I believe he was on our practice squad, so maybe that's kind of the thought too. It's to have him there, have him on the practice squad in case anything happens or there's issues or anything mental starts happening too, that they need to make a switch along with injuries, because you just never know.
Exactly, and that's really how it works. A long snapper usually has a pretty good leash before they're shown the door, and it usually takes a game or two or three before they really, pretty close together, before they really show you the door. And I don't think that, I don't think Clark really gave a reason to be shown the door. It just the injury, then when things kind of progress at that point, it's like, what's our long-term goals? Where's the youth? All that kind of stuff. I mean, same reason that I could get on teams all the way up until the age of 39. I just couldn't sign a long-term contract because I'd still be in the 90%. I'd still be in the upper 80s. I'd still perform well, but they're like, we don't know how much longer he's got left in him, so let's go get a 22-year-old. And then you start kind of playing that game because time is undefeated, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Well, the other thing too that Steele brought that up when Clark got hurt, the emergency long snapper, because you don't have a backup. I mean, like I said, Cal was on the practice squad. You don't have an emergency. I mean, you do. It was a tight end, but how hard is that? I mean, we saw it live when Clark got hurt, and then I can't remember.
It was Mitchell Wilcox. Had to do it.
Mitchell Wilcox, he had to come in and do it. I mean, he did okay for emergency, but I mean, that's got to be. I don't even know how you come in and do that and be able to get the snap off, get the blocks, get all that stuff, and you haven't done it in a game in God knows how long. I mean, that's got to be one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah, and they usually run through that scenario at least every other week, if not once every week. And I don't know if it's on Friday or what day of the week, but we would usually throw in what was usually the backup tight end or a linebacker, because that's the body type of a long snapper is typically the tight end linebacker size guy. You want to get them a couple live reps in practice, but it never replicates the pressure of the game. And you know what? There's been some guys that played a long time in the NFL that never really thought they were going to be long snappers and ended up falling into it. One of those guys was Clark Harris.
Yeah, he's a tight end at Rutgers, right?
Yep.
So that happened with him. I mean, Jason Kyle, who played a long time for Carolina, New Orleans, might have even been a starting linebacker at one point in the NFL, and finished his career as a linebacker. As a long snapper, and I don't know the full, story, but I know he was like a legit linebacker who ended up playing a very long time as a long snapper because he just picked it up. And everyone thinks it's easy. It's just like why can't the center do it? Well, no, it's not like
No,
that.
it's not.
It's like a cross between being a center or quarterback and an offensive lineman all at the same time.
Yeah, because last year I went to the Bengals had a watch party at Paycor, and me and Bengals captain were down there, and we were trying to kick. Well, Cap didn't get him come close. I at least got the ball up the air. I damn near killed somebody because I hit it and it didn't get up high enough. For some reason, they're standing right by the goalpost. I'm like, look out!
I think I've seen video of this.
Oh, it's horrible. It was yeah. Talking about your video, it was horrible. But we had a guy who was there. He said, "Oh, I can long snap." I'm like, "All right, cool." I've never held for anybody, so Kieran, our buddy, was going to kick. So I'm like, "All right." I'm on one knee. I'm like this. He fires that ball back. I go, "What the hell?" It went right through my freaking hands. I'm going, "Let's try that again." I mean,
yeah, right.
He fired it back there. I mean, it was not his fault. He did perfect, but it is not easy to long snap and be that accurate. And for as long as Clark did it, I mean, you gotta be good at it and accurate.
Yeah, yeah. And there's so many intricacies of it's different to snap it for a punt because you're trying to whiz it back a little bit faster so you can take time away from the punter catching it to his approach, drop, and punt before they can block it, right? On field goals, you want to send it back nice and smooth so that the holder has a smooth, easy catch and can place it. They want to have the laces, everybody's different from like 2.5 to 3.5 revolutions of spin so that the laces end up pointing up. When you catch it with the laces up, you put it down, the laces are forward. Like there's a whole kind of intricacies that are involved with that. And I mean, I remember that game, I was watching it. Just unfortunate, just very unfortunate. I thought the guy did okay. I think he put one high, but one that got blocked. I think I don't even think that wasn't even that was. I just it got blocked. I don't know where the block
That's how we
came
lost.
from.
We lost by a field goal. If I'm remembering,
I think
right,
it was a
didn't we?
PAT and then a field goal
Clark
or
got hurt?
something like that.
Yeah,
Do you remember?
multiple. There was multiple.
There was a PAT, and then
Yeah.
I think there was maybe a field goal in overtime or something because the PAT could have ended the game, maybe.
Yeah, because Chase got the touchdown at the goal line and
Yeah,
needed an extra point to win, and that got blocked, I believe, and then it was just like a bad snap on the one in overtime.
Yeah, and it was just a little high.
Yeah,
and they got it down, and I remember Evan kind of like didn't slow down for it, and it just kind of threw everything off.
Yeah.
Which how hard is that when you just like you're talking about there? If they do get a high, because you're going to get a high snap every once in a while, it's going to happen. How hard is it for you as a kicker to go? Okay, I got to slow down, like you just said, to time it up right.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I actually had a drill that I would do with Evan and those guys at Florida that I showed them. That's called what I call the Hezi drill.
Yeah.
And it's where you kind of halfway into your approach, you stop on your right foot, you rock back to your left, and then you step forward and do a one-step kick.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to explain it without standing up here and showing it to you. I guess I could, but I don't guess I need to.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah. But I called it my Hezi drill.
Yeah.
I used to practice that about once every other week for like 5 kicks, just so I could kind of let myself get used to what if, right?
Right.
And we were playing Pittsburgh. It's kind of, I forget what, it was just starting to get a little cooler. I remember it was a little overcast. Had a 39 or a 36-yard field goal on the last play of the half. And I did that. I had that. I rocked back. I stopped. I rocked. I continued forward again and made the kick. Barely made it, just inside the left upright.
As long as it's good, that's all that matters.
And I just remember, like, man, I'm glad that I had done that drill so much so that I didn't panic. because a lot of times what happens is you kind of flinch a little bit,
Right.
and then you spaz out and try to kick it really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And without all of your tempo and your flow and your timing and your foot position and posture and all the things that play into it,
Mm-hmm.
you have to practice it so that it becomes an instinct when it's time to do it.
Dale, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I was going to ask about what were your thoughts on the season of the Mormon Missile this year, coming out of nowhere and winning that punting job for
Mormon
Ryan
Missile, I
Rico.
like that.
So I had seen and worked with him before. I always liked him. I thought he looked very effortless for the way that the ball pops off his foot. It just looks like, man, there's no way he's trying that hard to do that. And that's what I loved about him when I was kind of doing my evaluation of him at the East West Shrine Bowl. And I've known some of the other coaches that he's worked with, and Helm and I stayed in touch with each other. And Darren knew that I liked the kid from the guys that were coming out that year.
Yeah.
And Brad actually had a really strong start to that offseason. And even Austin was doing well. I think Brad was staying ahead of him.
Yeah.
But when Ryan came in, I think it was an injury kind of started that
Brad got injured.
procession.
Yep.
Yep.
And then it was just like, wow, well, this guy, I mean, Wally Pip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's just different sound when he kicks it. It's just a big deep thump. It's that he just, and like you said, it looks like he barely even kicks it. It's very impressive to watch. We have I think, and everybody is worried about Evan. I'm not worried about Evan. I think Evan's going to bounce back this year. He was injured last year. I think he's going to have a bounce back year and get back to the way he was his rookie year.
Yeah.
Wasn't his brother going through I mean, that's probably not something to talk about, but I believe that kind of came out a little while ago. His brother battled some issues and lost a bunch of weight and stuff. And, he's back at, so, I mean, that would have to weigh on you, just for your sake. Off-field stuff, how much did that affect you going in to a game if there was something going on?
It can. You've got to learn to separate it. But I tell you, it can be tough. I mean, I had games, and I won't make any excuse, but one of my worst memory games of my career in Cincinnati, I had a lot of bad personal stuff happen all the way up to the game and even after the game.
Yeah.
But all anyone remembers is that I missed 2 kicks against the Jets, and I didn't want to give interviews in the locker room after the game. That's all everybody remembers. But most people don't know that there were personal things that were going on that you can't explain as an excuse.
Yeah.
Because it's your job. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. Don't show up if you can't do your job. And I hold myself accountable to that. But people just don't understand. Okay. If your job is to be very highly productive at making sure that this company's books and accounting is perfect, and you have a bad day and you have bad things, super bad happen in your life, you're going to get some leeway.
Yep.
Yeah.
But when your job is to come perform at a very high level and
in the
everyone
public
knows
eye.
how much money you make and all that kind of stuff, there is no excuse.
But we always come on. You also had the kicks. I mean, you made a lot of kicks for us. So there were some. So I don't want to always be like, well, I missed this. Shayne, you made a lot of good kicks for us. I mean, we called you Golden Graham for a reason. That was your nickname. So I mean, you were a good kicker. So I don't want you always come on here and talk about all.
I thought that was just because of the hair.
You remember who gave you that nickname?
Golden Graham?
Yeah.
I mean, I've had that forever because of the cereal. I had the guys in the security at the stadium, Dave, he started calling me Sugarfoot, and then I had Sugar Shayne from a bunch of people.
Then it was Sugar Tits at one point.
Never had that one. Never had that one. No, never had that one. Sugar Shayne because of Sugar Shane Mosley.
Yeah.
Sugarfoot, that came from those guys, but I think I had heard, MoneyGram. I
So
don't
many
know.
good ones. You have such a good name for nicknames.
Graham Cracker.
look,
I mean, I don't know.
I like bacon.
That's
Got it for you.
racist.
Sugar Shane right there.
Teddy Graham.
Crackers. Teddy Graham.
Graham Cracker, that'll get you canceled.
Yeah.
Insane.
now, Mike. All right, I'll put this question up, and you can answer it if you want. If you don't want to answer it, it's fine. So, what's your Paul? What's your thoughts on the Ratbirds letting Justin Tucker go? If you don't want to answer, you don't have to.
What am I going to do? Get canceled or fired or I don't give a shit. Excuse my language.
You're good.
Saw it coming. I think we all saw it coming.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Listen, Justin's a friend of mine. It's hard to be unbiased in this situation. We always talk about due process. We always talk about innocent until proven guilty, blah, 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 blah. But I also get it. You know, the moral turpitude of the visual, the optics of a situation, because you're dealing with a family entertainment business.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You know, if all this comes out to be a hoax and hogwash or whatever, then you know what? Like, I hope that guys that have situations like that, I hope there's some sort of a recourse for them,
Right?
Because we've seen it before, you know, like we've seen it with allegations of certain things by certain people, and then it comes out like it was absolutely false.
Right.
But then we've also heard, like, you know, sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire, and I get that too. There's so many things that I wasn't there, you weren't there, no one was there. And just because people come together with stories, why are those stories? I can't take a side. I don't want to take a side on that because if it happened, then
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you.
I mean, the funny thing is, if he had a bad year for his standard,
73% for someone who was 90, whatever he was for his career, the most accurate kicker in the history of the NFL. Now, let's be honest, this stuff was weighing on his head because he knew it was. Yeah, he had lawyers and people, poking at him all year long, like, "Hey, we're gonna let it out. We're gonna let it out. We're gonna let it out." Who knows? That probably was weighing on him, but also, we're human, okay? We are human, and
people forget that sometimes.
And even if none of that stuff was happening, okay, and he just had a 73% year, he's human. I don't think you cut the most accurate guy in the world as a kicker for a football decision.
Yeah,
that was obviously that it's PR. It's moral turpitude optics is all that is.
Well, and they just
you can't blame the team for doing it either.
No, but funny is they just drafted Green out of college, who has allegations against him too. So it's funny that they cut Justin because it's all of it. I mean, Justin went down. It didn't have as good of a year, but he's still the most accurate kicker in football history.
Have the Browns
cut him? And then there you go. Nope. Yeah, and they still got Watson. So exactly. So
I was just going to say
I was just going to say they made sure in that statement to frame it, as you mentioned, Shane, as a football decision because NFLPA and all that stuff would be all over them. Plus,
that would be,
yeah.
Exactly.
That's called CYA.
Exactly. The more I get into this, the more you have to cover your own ass. Esther put it up here. I want you to talk about it. It's excited about the upcoming Shayne Graham. You're hosting a camp at Paycor. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I had my first camp last year. Was actually going to have it at Paycor, but the timing, I don't know if they had some concert stuff, if they were redoing some of the stadiums.
Probably
and the
that damn
workings.
Taylor Swift. They probably said, no, Shane, sorry,
Yep.
Taylor Swift's
Yep.
here. That's
Yep.
a bullshit decision, honestly.
Yeah, they went with Swifty instead of Grammy. That's bullshit, Shane. Damn it.
It is. I agree with that. They might have been redoing the turf or something, or doing some renovations. I'm not exactly sure.
Right.
It didn't work out, so I did it at Sycamore High School, I believe. Very nice facility. Participation was slightly low. It was the timing last year timed up with a bunch of the college prospect camps right around that same time. So, hey, I had all the Bengals punters both came. Austin and Brad both came. Brad St. Louis came. Frosty Rucker showed up just to support me. Then Jim Breach came, and I'm going to see if Jim can come this year as well. I'd love it if Doug Pelfrey can make it. Just having guys there. I'd love it if Evan and everybody else could, but listen, Evan's got a young baby. He's got a family. You got young guys that are just trying to figure out what do I do?
Nugent?
Huge Nuge.
I used to be friends with him. I kind of lost. I haven't talked to him in a while.
I can't remember if
I'd
he was
love it.
selling
I'd love
houses
to
or
have him
something.
there.
Just
What's
Colin
that?
feigned some interest in buying a house. I think maybe he's selling houses or something. I seen something he was doing. Just feigned some interest in buying a house and be like, "Oh, this is Shane, by the way. Come to my camp."
Well, he's probably a really good Is he a real estate agent?
I think so. I thought I
He's
seen that.
probably really good at it. I think the guy's good at everything he does.
Yeah.
Well, if you need any long snappers or anything like that, Dale will definitely be.
Yeah, I'd love to have Clark come. Does Clark still live in
He's in
Cincinnati area?
Jersey, I think.
I think he's in Jersey. I haven't talked to him
Is
lately.
he out
kind
in
of completely disappeared.
He cut Dale off. Him and Dale were best friends, and they cut off. Dale doesn't get to talk to him anymore.
Now, the guy to go through would be the guy that punted here forever. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. Kevin Huber.
Yeah.
I think those guys are probably still pretty tight. You get get one, you probably get the other one.
See what we can do. Yeah, and then so I'm also bringing TrackMan, which is like the technology that radar tracking that kind of they use it for golf, they use it for baseball, all that. I'm gonna have that there, so that'll be kind of something fun for the guys that are there to kind of experience real time data analysis as they're performing. And we have fun. I like to talk through reps. I like to give examples of certain things through situational stuff that could happen in a game. Talk a lot of technique, talk a lot of body positioning. We're all going to be a little different, but yet there's still certain concepts that you stick to try to keep yourself within the certain framework of a certain type of stencil so that you're not a cookie cutter, but you're still within the guidelines of a certain stencil.
Yeah, that makes sense. And
because wherever you go, right, you want to make yourself available to as many coaches too. So
exactly. And Crip, yes, we know the Pacers are up 2 on the camera. 2.
Yeah, he's giving me shit because he knows that game really hurt me last night, where the Pacers come back and beat my Cavaliers. It was brutal.
Yeah. The only Cleveland
I
team
couldn't even tell you who's in the playoffs. I know it's not the Lakers.
It's not LeBron.
All we care about is
exactly.
Yeah. All we care about is the Cavaliers. Other than that, I don't give a crap. So and they're down 0-2. So
yeah, they had a
that's the only
20-point
Cleveland team
lead, Shane, and blew it. Blew it out. They had a 7-point lead with under a minute and lost in regulation. Didn't even go
he scored a game winner on a missed free throw.
Yeah, they couldn't rebound. They couldn't inbound
by the way,
ball.
The step back's a travel. I'll just say that. You're allowed to take that jump. But anyway.
There's no traveling hardly at all in the NBA, Jeff.
No.
It's not a thing.
Not at all.
It's a myth.
Of course we see it. We're just ignoring you, Crip.
He's well aware. He's been in the chat the entire time for 45 minutes straight, Shane, just firing off stuff about, you hear about what a pace car is, right? Just anything pace he can fire off at me.
Anything at all.
That's awesome.
Now, as a, you've got to kind of step back and be more of a fan. I know you probably always are focusing on because Elite Winning Solutions and everything you do with that, and that's your job, that's your business now, and you share your knowledge with all these younger guys. But as a fan, as a whole, for the Bengals, what can they do to get back on track? Like, I mean, it just seemed like they had a lot of defensive problems, so they've overhauled that staff. Couldn't close out games in multiple ways. What's the biggest thing to you from a fan perspective that you think that they can do to get back on track this year, back in the playoffs?
I don't think they need to reinvent the wheel. I think obviously we've spent some high expenditures on keeping certain players in place. It's not always about the best player is the most expensive, but sometimes keeping the guy that means the most to your teammates and players can be more expensive.
Trey
I
Hendrickson.
mean, how often do you see a free agent get picked up or a guy who doesn't even get drafted? All of a sudden they become a freaking superstar, and everyone's like, well, he didn't even make that much money, but he was still really good. So just because you demand a lot of money in free agency doesn't always make you better than someone else. Now, I get it. There are some guys that are superstars that truly are just better. But you do what you got to do to keep a Joe Burrow. You do what you got to do to keep certain aspects of him happy. And unfortunately, sometimes it means you got to dip a little lower into the smaller bills to get some of the other players. And honestly, if you have a culture, if you're trying to find a personality type, hungry, intelligent, smart, I above my pay grade. I don't know how the scouts that go evaluate. I mean, I can tell you like, yeah, he's got good feet, he's got good hips, but I'm not going to be able to tell you all the other paragraphs of stuff that these evaluation scouts can actually tell you about someone. But I think you can't just rely on, oh, we didn't spend enough money on the defense. You do what you can do. You bring the guys in, you try to develop them, you make sure you pound it in their heads that technique, fundamentals, basics. And then when you start giving them schemes, you make sure they understand the schemes. And maybe coaching's part of it. I don't know. I don't know much about the defensive staff that's there. The only coach I'm really close with is Darren, and I know Darren has evolved and adapted his special teams over the years, but he's also always been kind of a very detail-oriented prodigy type genius with special teams over the years, and also understands how to manage specialists and things like that as well, which is why he's the only coach they've retained for so long.
20 years now.
Yeah.
20 years now, I think.
Longest tenured coach in the NFL.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You're saying that. Me and Dale have been kind of defending the Bengals draft. Like, I mean, all of us fans wish they would have went and spent all much money on the defense and done these offseason moves through free agency or whatever. But in the draft, they addressed pretty much every position of need except for right now safety. Safety is about the only one that they didn't. And the thing is, like what you're saying is just because the guy did make all this much money and he's not a superstar coming in, it doesn't mean these guys can't be productive and can't be turned into great players. And that's what the Bengals are hoping with their scouting and developing. And that's what they're hoping the coaching staff's going to do. And that's what they're putting all their eggs in, that these guys they drafted are going to develop into the players that they need.
Also, I think opportunity is huge. And that was, I think, one reason. It's development and opportunity. You got to combine those things.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the defensive staff changes, and it's not a knock on Lou. Lou was great game planning and things like that, but we didn't see a lot of the younger guys get on the field. I feel like it would be pretty hard to, without getting some live reps, kind of like you were talking about as a kicker, right? It's hard to simulate that in practice. It's hard for these guys to simulate maybe what they can show and how good they can be if they're only getting out there 5 to 10 snaps a game on defense out of 60 snaps. So I think that's important too.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a question there.
Pork chops. Yeah, they wish good statements. But
I wish I was
Coach,
drinking a
unfortunately,
glass of bourbon right now.
Yeah, something. It's midweek, we gotta be responsible adults at some point and drink our waters.
I've been on a kind of a journey, health journey over the last few months, several months actually, almost not quite a year, but so I've dropped a lot of weight and hit the
that's
weight
what I
room.
said when you got on the show. Yeah, I said you look
Well,
better. I mean, not that you look
thank
bad
you.
before, but you look out like you've been
Bro,
not that
I
you look
got
like
up
ass
to
before, Shane. Huh?
I got up to 270.
I'm not gonna tell you how much I weigh.
I played at 197, okay? I got up to 270.
Ooh, okay.
I'm now down to in between 210 and 220, fluctuating a little bit. I know I can get a little bit lower. I kind of stalled out a little bit because there was a vacation and maybe some travel and some holiday and some,
You get to enjoy that hard work every now and again.
every now and again, yeah, you do,
in.
yeah.
Yes. Just like
Hey,
the players
this guy
have to
right
do.
here, this guy right here's lost like 60 pounds. So he's been.
Yeah,
he's been
but
doing
I've got a
some-
lot
doing some
more to
work
go
too.
than what Shane does.
Hey,
I'm starting at a
losing
lot
60
higher.
pounds. Yeah, me too. I would love to lose 60 pounds. I mean, I actually got back to working out again today because I was doing really good at the beginning of the year. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then stuff happened, and I got busy because I got 2 other jobs. Then I got lazy, and I'm like, then my knee started hurting, and my shoulder started hurting. I'm like, damn it, I gotta go back. It's like
It doesn't get
for me,
easier when you get older to have that
No.
motivation to
Oh,
do
God,
it every
no.
single day.
No. Yeah, and when things hurt, it doesn't make you want to go. But the thing is, for me, if I go consistently and stuff, things stop hurting. So if I lose weight, cool. I'm trying. I've been trying forever. I don't lose weight very fast. It's more of like trying to get my body to stop hurting. It's the biggest thing for me. The older I get, and the thing is, you gotta do stuff. You can't just sit around. You gotta move. You gotta do something to develop the muscles because the older you get, the muscles just go. They go away quicker.
And inflammation, all that stuff. I'm telling you, I went on this carnivore kick. Inflammation in my joints went away. All the little aches and pains I used to feel.
Mm-hmm.
Almost, really my back is the only thing that bothers me, and I've got serious back damage from degenerative issues. But I swear by it. I mean, don't be afraid of animal fat. Don't be afraid of eggs
Meat.
and
Yeah.
meat.
Hey,
I agree. High protein, high protein, low carbs. That's usually what I have to.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I've cut a lot of fast food out. I used to eat fast food a ton. I don't eat that very much at all anymore. So I mean, like 2 years ago, I started doing this. I did lose a lot of weight. I don't know how much. I never look. I don't because I get depressed because I didn't lose enough or whatever. So we went back to it was 2 years ago. We came back to our seats and people were like, "Have you lost weight?" I said, "Probably. I don't know." I was like, "What'd you do?" I said, "Kind of quit eating fast food." They're like, "Well, that'll help." I said, I switched to cherry Coke Zero. So I try that stuff. The other thing would be cut out the beer, but I haven't got that part down yet. I like that too much still.
I limit what I do. I keep it. I typically just drink straight whatever the alcohol. If it's vodka, it's on the rocks. If it's bourbon, it's neater on the rocks. But my thing is the only fast food I'll eat is McDonald's. And
Ocho, huh?
No, he's full of crap on that. He thinks you can actually be healthy eating McDonald's every day. I don't agree with that.
That's genetics.
That is freak genetics, Chad. We get it. You got freak genetics.
He does.
But I'll go through and I'll order quarter pounder patties, and that's it.
Yeah. My wife does.
I eat it with a fork.
Yep.
So that is like my one little like guilty pleasure when I'm on the road traveling or something. Other than that, it's eggs, meat, steak, burgers, fish, chicken, whatever. Sometimes a little bit of berries, sometimes vegetables, salads. I won't like completely go like meat only carnivore, but I just basically cut out all processed grains, all processed sugars, all non-real food.
Yeah, bread is a big thing. If you cut breads out, that's because I say
Well,
my wife has been doing the keto thing for about 2 years now, and she'll do the same thing. We go to a restaurant or whatever, just Chili's or Applebee's or something like that, and she wants a burger. She won't get the bread. She'll get either a lettuce wrap around it, or she'll just get it, on a plate and
Yeah.
just use a fork and knife and eat it, which is fine. I mean, I haven't got to that. I still like my bread. I try not to eat it as much. The hardest thing for me is Skyline chili. Like, a cheese coney is a damn cheese coney. I try to put it in the keto wrapped, and the chili runs out. And it's just, and you put it in a bowl. It's just not the same, Shane. It's just not the same. Okay.
Do you do the 3-way or do you do the coney?
Yes,
What's your favorite?
I do. See, that depends.
I've asked the wife about 3-ways, but she shuts it
Not
down.
that kind of 3-way, damn.
Oh.
God.
Oh. Oh.
That was just hot Shane. You do that.
I'm down in the basement. I'm looking.
This is how weird I am. If I go through drive-through, it's cheese conies. But if I go into the restaurant, it's a regular 3-way and at least 1 or 2 cheese conies. That's kind of the way I do it. I don't know why.
So I have cans of Skyline in my cabinets here.
Right.
I love I like the flavor of it. Okay.
Oh yeah, me too.
I think we'll even make like a Skyline queso dip or bean dip or something, chili dip. I don't know. It's something that she's done. But I actually like to I'll just get like a plate of hot dogs, like 3 like real hot dogs, not the little tiny ones that you get at Skyline, which are fine.
Yeah. Right.
But I'll get like I don't know what the Hebrew Pride or something. There's like some brand here that they're good. So, and then I'll just scoop the chili over it and grate some fresh cheese over top of it. And I just eat it with a fork, and it gives me that somewhat. And I think we've even got these like egg wraps that are like egg white.
Yes, I've tried those too.
And they look like tortilla things. And then we take a pizza cutter and we cut it up into little thin, and it almost gives you that same texture of pasta when you boil it for like just a second, and then you put the chili over it, and then you put the cheese over it.
Have you tried the broccoli or pasta? Have you tried that?
What's the looks like a cucumber. What's that fruit called? Or that vegetable called?
Zucchini?
Zucchini. Yeah, I've done zucchini pasta where you like put it through a spiraler and it kind of it's okay. There was actually something hearts of palm hearts or something. I don't know.
Wow.
She had some sort of a stuff that we tried, and it actually tasted okay, and the texture was okay. I'm a big texture thing when it comes to food.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I never really liked the whole trend of, well, this is sugar free or fat free, and it's like, oh, it's just not the same. Now we find out all that fake shit they put in there is actually worse for you than the real shit that was in there.
Right.
Exactly.
But there's always that little bit of like, if I don't like the texture, I have a hard time eating it. So
a good dip to do for Skyline chili. My sister makes this. You put cream cheese down at the bottom. There you go.
Cream cheese and everything bagel seasoning on celery.
We put cream cheese and you put the chili and cheese on top of it. And normally we take tortilla chips and dip it out that way, but you maybe take celery or something like that and dip it out of it. Or hell, I've just taken my fork and eaten it before too. It's good
spoon.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I took a hot dog and chopped it up and just put it in a bowl of Skyline chili and threw some cheese over it and just ate it.
Hey, yeah, it's like you make your own little soup. It's just got some chunks in it.
Yeah. Now, one thing I won't do is I've seen other guys shotgun cans of chili. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that. You ever seen those videos, Shane? They pop a hole in it and shoot that stuff like.
I mean, you enjoy things. I don't think you got to celebrate it like that. I mean,
yeah. You'll shotgun it down, and it'll shotgun right out your ass.
Yeah, right. It's gonna go.
I said,
both ways.
Yeah,
It'll look the same way going in as it did coming out.
exactly.
Shayne's like, this is why I don't come on the show very often.
Hey, yeah, you got it. You talk some ball, and then you got to have a little fun with our buddy
Hey,
Shayne.
I'm all good. I enjoy this. So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad at all. My
gonna try to
wife
make it
probably
to
wishes I had more guys around to talk like this to, so she doesn't have to hear my
Yeah,
shit.
gives her a break.
Like, thank God he's on strawberry ice. He can leave me alone for a little while.
Well, I think you need a redemption arc for doing that kick again if Donato's does it this year.
Yes.
Come on,
I'm
'cause
out.
you know you can make
I'm
it.
out.
You can
You know
make
you
it.
can make
I
it.
know I can make it. I know I can
You-
make it.
we
But
could
then
be
I
playing
but
like
then
the
I look
Rocky music.
desperate. I don't
Yeah.
really care what I look like, but I'm not gonna lie. Like
You
I was
want your
sore for like
redemption.
I was sore for like 3 days after that.
Yeah, but had you made it, it would have been worth it.
I don't need redemption.
All right, fine. I
Listen,
just thought it'd be cool. We could have a whole Rocky training video. 'Cause
Yes.
You've lost all this weight, this whole montage, and then boom, he nails the kick. The video starts with you missing that kick, the really bad one, the second one. Training montage, nails the kick at the end. Hey, you
Yes.
don't even have to do it at the stadium. Just you
Yes.
video kick one sometime. Just saying. I mean, come on. Maybe we can raise money for charity in the process of this.
I'm gonna stick to coaching for now. My kicking days are over.
But,
Chop's calling me weird. I don't know why I'm weird. What am
I just
what-
realized my camera's in reverse. Am I like flipped around or something?
no, we see
No,
you fine.
you're good. You're not. Your numbers are the right way behind you. This is Graham.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe it's just on my screen. It's flipped around and it's Maharg.
Maharga. Now, I don't know why. It's
And I'm
back
wearing
with
Willie Anderson's number apparently.
you.
No, you're perfectly fine
Yeah.
on this end.
And
Yeah.
even my shirt is in reverse. Okay,
Elite
so
winning
I
solution.
guess
Elite
it
winning solution.
reverses it on your guys' side. I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah, it looks fine to us.
Well, there you go.
So what's going on with Elite Winning Solutions? How can people get a hold of you for that, and just different things you help people out with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting a lot of people contact me. Get a lot of people that I work with, and I love it. I love being busy with it. If you go to elitewinningsolutions.com, it gives you all the rundown. But really following the social media, EWS_mentality or Shayne Graham 17 or Shayne_Graham, whatever my Instagram is, I don't know. But
Look up Shayne Graham, you'll find it.
yeah, SHAYNE. But I
Yes.
think really, if you go to the socials, it just like it's constantly just showing you this is what we did today. This is what we did this day. And it just kind of shows you like a little bit of a hands-on, like what it would be like to work with me. And you don't get, but when I have clients to my house, like I have these all-inclusive trainings where I put them up basically in the Graham house and feed them and watch their film with them in the basement down here, and we'll sometimes go out to dinner together. Like you have all the access in the world to ask me questions, and I'm just thinking like I love being able to do that. For a lot of these guys are high school guys, a lot of them are college guys. When I was in high school and college, if I could have talked to a guy that played in the NFL and asked him questions at all day long,
Right.
and
Yeah.
and not felt like I was bothering this person, that would have been priceless to me. So that's why I wanted to make myself available, so that me and my wife will cook them dinner, and we'll let them hang out if they come with enough with their parents. We'll let them go out if they want to go out. If they come with or if they're in town the same time as another client's in town, I'll let those guys hang out. Let them play video games, do whatever, give them their space. But we get serious work on the field. I've got a weight room designed just for training punters and kickers and long snappers. And I've got a program that I go through with that. I've got a mental performance program, presentation that I do with them, film technology for recording their kicking and when we come back and review it. So it's pretty intense, but yet, during the summer I take them out to Lake Michigan and we do a little workout on the beach, and then we go sit on the beach for the rest of the day and go eat lunch and relax and recover. Maybe we'll play golf. So it's just a very interesting, unique experience, I think. And that's something that, I threw in there, like, yeah, I've got all the private lessons and things that I do. I've got my camp that I'm doing in Cincinnati on June 7th. But it just gives me a chance to be involved with football, but not have to slave over the stress of winning and losing being everything.
Right.
I love that. I do. I love that. But it's stressful.
You did
Right.
a lot. You've done a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like,
Mostly winning, by the way. Mostly winning.
Yeah, but I mean, but when your job as a coach, even if I were a college coach or an NFL coach right now, I could get fired.
yes.
If the head
Moving.
coach gets fired, everybody gets fired.
Yeah.
And then you gotta
moving your
move somewhere.
family. Like
Yes,
that.
exactly.
Yep.
So that's why I enjoy this. It's there's always going to be the stress of health and family and everything like that, but I also realize I'm very blessed and fortunate to have had the life I've had, to have the opportunities that I've had, to have people that drove me and inspired me to have a work ethic, to get things done and do things so that I could achieve the things that I've been able to do. And also the humility to understand, like, hey, there's been times when you did things wrong, and let's learn from it and let's figure it out and keep rolling.
There you go. Chop has had a couple comments in here. He says, so the heart of palm, he said it's from a palm tree. I have no idea if that's true or not.
I don't know.
And
If somebody Googles keto pasta heart of palm, maybe they'll see that. I don't know.
And I did not say it was my sister's recipe. I said my sister makes it. So I know. And for some reason, Pork Chop wants you to buy us a pizza. So I'm not sure what he's talking about.
Did someone say that's not your sister's recipe?
Yeah. Chop said it's not my sister's recipe, which I never said it was. I just said she makes this and it's delicious. So
Chop
Yeah, I
makes
was
really
going to
good
say.
What?
That makes nice shirts.
My
though. Look at this
sister-
Yeah,
nice shirt.
I think
Yeah.
I've had like four people bring it. Four people try to bring it to
Yeah.
my house for something.
My
so-
sister did not create this, but she makes it really well. What? Hey, Casper's in. Orange Hair.
Yeah, I
What's
don't
up?
even see him on my show, so that's a rare
I know,
appearance
what
by
the heck?
Derek. Hey, buddy.
Yeah. Now he's just flirting with you, Shane. He says you
Yeah,
look kinda-
stop it,
Uh-huh.
Chop. Keep it in your pants. Go to work. Go to work. Shouldn't you be going to work about now? Shouldn't you be working? Why are you on here?
Yeah, I know. Or
You
sleeping
work
or
night
something.
shift, Chop. Come on now.
Dan, you got anything else, or?
No, man, it's just good catching up with Shane and being on here with you. And
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't
talking to
seen.
people
I
in
haven't
chat.
seen my best friend in forever.
I know it's been a while.
Yeah.
We'll
Well, you guys
we'll
did
have to
that
get you on.
Epic Live
We'll have to
show.
get you on a night where you want to have a couple bourbons, and we'll just get on here and have some fun.
Well, you
Can
give me
I come?
enough
Can I come?
advance notice so I can put it on the calendar first.
Hey, you shoot me a message anytime. We don't even have to go live. We'll just get on here and shoot the shit. Anytime your wife says, Shane, you're getting on my damn nerves, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go down the basement and have a couple bourbons. Hey, we'll set up one of these. We don't have to go live, and we'll just
Yeah.
bullshit.
Because that's going to
Yeah,
finish
exactly.
with me not being on her nerves after that either.
Because one bourbon will turn into 2 bourbons, 3
And
bourbons.
then he'll start. Lighting stuff on fire. All that cool. The drinks on fire. Sorry.
That was an orange peel.
All right,
But
Shane.
great
Hey, plug
catching
some
up,
stuff.
man.
We're good. Yeah, it's good talking to you. Good. Plug some stuff before I let you go again.
It's great to see you guys.
You too. Elite
What
Winning
did-
Solutions. I'll plug it for him.
Yeah.
All right. EliteWinningsolutions.com.
And your
You
camp.
really just go to my social media or EWS_mentality. That's Instagram and Twitter or X or whatever the heck we call it now.
And
Facebook
at Shayne Graham 17.
There you
It's
go.
the-
at Shayne
Twitter.
Graham 17 and
Okay.
at Shayne_Graham maybe is my Instagram.
On Instagram,
I can look.
Yeah.
I think you might be right. Hey, so the camp you got Paycor, is it sold out? Can people still get tickets? And
Oh yeah. Well, it's not really a sellout capacity. I mean, if I got 100 kids signed up for it, I'll make sure enough coaches are there to manage 100 kids. I
Okay.
think there we go.
Shayne_Graham. There you go.
It looks like two
With the beard and
underscores
everything.
together.
I don't know.
Is that possible?
Maybe.
Not that maybe.
But last year we had pretty low numbers. This year we've got a little bit more signed up, and we have almost a month to kind of see if we can get some more. We have
So where can people
sponsored.
sign up
I think
for that?
Penn Station is a sponsor, and
Awesome.
we're looking to get some more sponsorship. So anyone who wants to throw 500, throw 1,000 to try to help with expenses, so we can kind of have nicer things for the kids. I mean, we're using the Bengals stadium, so it's a great experience that they would be able to have.
So if people want to sign up, how do they sign up for that?
I think if you go to my website, you can register for it, but also I think it might be on the ERI kicking website. I'm not really sure. But if you go to any of my social media, it's all over
It's
it.
on
The
there.
registration is there, and it tells you exactly how to like. It's got a link right there in the posts, and we post about it, and it's pinned and all that kind of stuff.
Cool. So social media, if you guys want to get into this camp or any of the other stuff he does, check him out on Instagram and X. Shayne, it's been awesome, dude. We have to do this again. And you come to Bengals training camp, and I can get in there picture with you. That'd be cool.
There you go. There you go.
All right, Shayne. Appreciate you, brother. Take it easy.
All right. Good to see you
Yeah,
guys.
brother. See you, man.
See ya. Hey, so if you guys set this whole off screen thing, drinking, I'm coming. I'm just saying.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I don't
I
care if you
figured.
invite
I
me
mean,
or
I
not.
was saying all of us. I said like
or live. I don't care. I'll get drunk on the air. I don't care. Either way, I'm just hanging out.
I've never done that. I've never.
No, what? No. Especially not last Friday. You weren't.
Never done marathon long streams and after. We've never done after darks. We never made a whole show called Belly Up to the Bar for late night.
We don't. Nah, we never did that at all.
We're more adult now. We're more grown. We had to grow up. I mean, people look at us as role models, Jeff.
I
hope not.
I don't know how to do that.
It'll be like Charles Barkley. I'm not.
I'm not role model. I love that commercial. Wing said it's on Facebook with the link. Also on her page. I posted the Houday Nation as well. So there you go. Guys, let me get on again. All right, Dan, you got any parting words you want to leave for Houday Nation other than we are role models? We have 122 people watching right now.
Hey, good day, everybody. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody tuning in. The Iceman, he's fantastic. We all love him. Look how beautiful he is. Them sexy little glasses on, that pretty hat.
Hey, go read Dale's draft stuff on Cincy Jungle. It's
right now, I've just got one article up there, but I'm going to try to get the whole draft guide from this past season up there. But usually, because I've already raised the money for Project Game Day for this cycle, so may put that out on the Cincy Jungle site. However, AC wants to do it. Just collaborating with AC and doing some articles here and there. Did one about Seth McLaughlin from Ohio State, who picked up as an undrafted free agent. And the next one that he'll be posting that I've already wrote up is about Howard Cross III from Notre Dame, who I think has a real shot to make the roster, D tackle, since they didn't draft one. So that'll be the next article profile on him.
Just remember me when you become big time and leave.
Yeah. I'm not going to become big time, buddy. I'll be right here doing these podcasts with you for as long as I'm doing any of this stuff.
We'll be in our 80s. I remember back in my day. Anyway,
I'm so excited to crack this. Oh, hey, I need someone to crack. I can't crack it.
Why'd they get so hard?
Why is it so difficult to crack these cans of Miller Lite? I'll still be drinking Miller Lite.
But well, hopefully by then our shows be sponsored by Miller Lite. That would be great. Just saying Miller Lite. If you
maybe they'll have like 0-calorie Miller Lite, but it still gets you really hammered. Like
I tried that with the Bud Light next, and it was nasty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got to make it actually taste good. Yeah.
Taste good.
Help us.
All right, brother. Appreciate you. I'm gonna go eat some food.
All right, brother.
Houday.
Houday.
What'd you say? I feel like I need a cortisone. I'm blurry again. Okay, I didn't know I was blurry again, guys. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why. Because Shayne said he was flipped backwards on his screen. It looked fine to me. Blurry again, or why I'm blurry. So we'll see. What'd you say, Crip? Yes, we have farm. Well, I don't have a farm stand. That's Derek. Derek farm stand. If you don't know what we're talking about, you need to check out Bengals and Brews. All right, boys and girls. Thanks for watching. I've been live streaming on ZTV Online, YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch. You can follow me on all those, along with Instagram, Threads, and TikToks. I will be pulling the sound off later on tonight, put it on the podcast so you can miss any of this epic conversation with Shayne. Sure, Shayne, Golden Graham, Shayne the Man, Shayne Graham, Bengals Catcher, Beanpod, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure you rate, like, and review. Leave a 5-star review and a comment so more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast. Also, shout out to Priority Lawn and Landscaping. If you guys need some yards cut, you need some edges trimmed, you need some shrubbery done, you need some flower beds mulched, cleaned out, whatever. You want a big job like retaining wall, paper patio, anything lawn and land. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Give them a call at 513-430-6114. That's 513-430-6114. You can also follow them on Facebook. So you can either message them on Facebook or you call them. And when you do, tell them Ice sent you. I'd greatly appreciate it. The shout out to T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And Meyer Windows and Doors. I got them in my house. As always, I highly recommend you get them in yours. You can check them out at MeyerCincinnati.com. Meyer Windows, Doors, and more. Still don't know what the more is yet. That's why you should do. You should make an appointment and get Maddie to come out there, give him an estimate for your windows, and find out what the more is. The more might be Jackpot Joey. I don't know. But again, Meyer Windows and Doors and more at MeyerCincinnati.com. They give free estimates, great looking windows, energy efficient, easy to clean. I said I got it on my house. All right, boys and girls, tomorrow I have, let's see here. Who do I have on tomorrow? Let me look here real quick. Oh, yeah, Game On. Game On G-Money's going to be on. So that's going to be a fun show. We'll be talking Bengals. Man, we might talk some Reds here. I do want to talk a little Reds here at the end of this thing. Last night was very frustrating to watch that. The last 2 nights have been very frustrating. Like me and Joe were talking about yesterday, this front office did not do enough to give this team an offense. Yes, I know Matt McClain messed up, and it looks a lot like we did last year, where little things like that. But when you go 2 games where you get 1 hit in 1 game and you score 1 run in another, it's awful damn hard to win games like that. You've got to score freaking runs. If this team could average 2 to 4 runs a game, they'd win most of the games. The pitching we have. And the deep, which I know the defense messed up last night, but for the most part, defense has been better. You average 2 to 4 runs, we win most of the games. We can't. We don't have the offense. And the injuries are happening again, and we don't have the depth to replace these guys again. So everything that the front office did not do in the offseason is hurting this team again. We're doing the same thing we did last year again. It's frustrating. You know, you go out and you get Tito. That's awesome. Got to add talent to your team. You've got guys in AA who other teams would like. Why are you hanging on to them? Because by the time they get up here, Ellie and these guys, you won't be able to afford them. They're going to leave. You've got a very talented ball club. Add to it. Quit sitting on your hands. It's freaking annoying. Anyway, always remember, Houday for life. Remember, throw it up, people. That's your sports, baby. See ya!
Weekday nights, the city roars. Tune in loud, turn up some more. Cincinnati show, it's time to play. Sports with strawberry ice today. 5:30 sharp. don't be late. CTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ices on the mic, energy, it's pure delight. Every touchdown, every goal, feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Every touchdown, every goal, feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Feel the crowd, it's electric now. Shouting loud, they all know how. The CTV got what we crave. Sports with ice, it's waves and waves. Tigers strike and Bengals roar. Every game we want some more. Tune it in and feel the thrill. Strawberry ice, he's giving chills. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. CTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's pure delight.